No Soviet connections, please.
You realize like, yeah, this idea is not even going to work. It's not going to scale. No one cares about this. And you have to kind of roll back and be like, okay, this idea is dead. What else can we do?
Like entrepreneurs, you have to like take rejection for breakfast, lunch,
Actually,
supper.
I had a friend at the same time who was also on Lions Den, and we were sponsored through the same program.
At some point, you're selling gold. Gold. Yes, I was selling gold.
Big dreams. You're like, this is probably what Mark Zuckerberg is doing as well. So,
So I come to and they're teaching me how to rapidly kill it. Gen Z today care more about the experience.
Yeah, the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hence why they're drinking
the
less.
team and even the courage and the confidence and the pitching in front of the mirror. Nobody sees that. They just see, hey, Safari got 1.4 million for. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is another episode of The Forge, where we talk to founders and learn the deep, in-depth stories around their journeys. Today, we are joined with an interesting entrepreneur. His name is Safari, and I am excited to talk to him because he represents. So I'm a millennial, one of the elder millennials, but he represents the other tail end of the millennials. His journey has been very interesting, and we want to hear about it. So, Safari, tell us, who is Safari?
Yeah, so Safari is a tech entrepreneur, I would say. I'm an engineer by profession, but I picked up software engineering on the as I was actually trying to build businesses on my own. I had to learn how to code on my own, and that took some time. But yeah, I'm now deep in business, deep in entrepreneurship, but mostly focusing on the technology part aspect of it. Yeah.
Cool. So let me ask you, what is if you were to put it, what is your claim to fame? If there's one point in your life that you said, okay, people might remember me for this, what is that?
Okay. I will think, I used to think like people actually do care, or at least will remember you for moments where you are appearing on TV, but that doesn't seem to be the case actually. But my claim to fame was at some point I did appear in Lions Den, and I was pitching a business, an art business. I called it Sephrin Art. It was like
Suffering art.
Sephrin Art. So
Sephrin.
yes,
Okay.
I took my father's English name, married it with art, and kind of made a business.
The typical Kikuyu,
So it should have been like
naming scheme.
it should have been Ngugi and Sons or something like that. But yes, so
Mudokijo.
so something like that. So the good thing is like I went to establish a bank account for the company, and at that moment I did establish it with KCB, and I think through the marketing channels they got to me, and I saw the application and I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to this thing. I didn't know if I would get in, but fortunately I did. And yeah, I went to pitch, I think that was back in like July of 2016 or something like that, or 2017. And then it aired on after I had actually finished university, and that was probably in September. So a lot of people actually called me thinking I had actually gotten
just there
the
at that
money.
time.
Yes. So I did get one investor in, and that kind of changed my life from.
Who was that?
So that was Olive Gashara.
Olive. Okay, I know Olive. We go way back.
So Olive Gashara came in, and she gave me a deal on the screen. And then when we got out of the show, what happened was actually the organization that had sponsored me through high school also had an entrepreneurship program, and they were investing in businesses back then. So they offered a better deal because we went to them and we told them, okay, actually I had a friend at the same time who was also on Lions Den, and we were sponsored through the same program. So the two of us went to them and we told them like, okay, you guys have seen us go on Lions Den. We've gotten investors to come on board. But you know what would actually be really good is if you guys, as an organization, actually invested in us. that will be a better story for you to tell in terms of like the impact that you've had. You've educated students, and now they're entrepreneurs, and you're investing even in their businesses, and their businesses are growing.
Okay.
Right? So they came in with a better offer, and they were offering 400K for 10% at that time at the very beginning.
What did Olive give you?
So Olive was giving me 1.4 for
Million
40%, yes.
40%.
Yes, for 40%. But this was not going to come in as a lump sum. This was going to come in as a loan. Okay. Yeah. So I, between debt and actually getting actual money in exchange for equity, then that was a better deal. Okay. Right. So I did take that.
Interesting. So you were in Lions Den. Wait, is it Lions or Dragons? Lions Den. Yeah, Lions Dragons Den is the start one. And yeah, okay. So in Lions Den, and you were in campus. You had an idea. You started to pitch it. It was impromptu. You're in the bank. You're like, oh, form. Let me apply. Right. So what gave you the confidence to? Obviously, you had seen it before on TV. You'd seen the pitches, how people do it, and then they are being told, "What is this? Please get out of here." Shark Tank kind of thing. So, what gave you the confidence to say that my business is Lions Den worthy?
Honestly, I don't think I cared that much in terms of like, is it Lions Den worthy? Is it like going to be shown on TV? I was just going to say like, I will apply. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it's a chance, it's an opportunity that was presented, and I decided to take it. It didn't matter, like, I could have been selling viazi on the streets. I would have still applied.
Really? I'd like to see that on Lions Den. A good picture, Lions Den for viazi, like...
At the end of the day, it's an opportunity. Like, if you're presented with an opportunity, you have to take it. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This was one of those shots that I was like, okay, I might miss it, but it's an opportunity. Let's take the shot. If it lands, it lands.
So you said something interesting. So you're in school. Tell us about what you were doing in school.
So even before starting uni, my mind was focused on business. And the reason this happened was out of the naivety of a high school student. Like, when you're in that frame of mindset, you're thinking of like, what am I going to do next? I'm going to join uni, maybe get a job. There was someone that came to our high school that was an entrepreneur. At that moment, he said he was doing a business called Green V. Green V. He called it Green V. I specifically remember that name, and I've tried to search for that business. I've never found it. I don't even remember the name of this guy, but I do remember the name of his business. And he came and told us this story about how business for him is working out, how his entrepreneurship journey was. And he made it look so good to the point that by the end of his talk, I had made a decision that, okay, I don't think employment is for me. I think starting
And you were like
businesses
what?
is for me.
18, 19?
I was probably like 17 at that moment. Yeah, I was probably like 17. So I made this.
So somebody's gonna watch this podcast and make the same decision.
Probably,
right?
probably.
So
And that will actually be cool. I mean, it's not an easy journey, but it's a journey that you want to take out of like, yeah, this is exactly what I feel I need to do in life. So when this guy came, talked to me, and he was saying, okay, it was an eco business, like I think maybe climate tech, back when actually nylon had not been phased out in Kenya. So he was making brown bags for companies, and he will sell them, right? So he came and told us how exactly his business is doing, how much they're making, what kind of money they're making. And in my mind, I was like, okay, this is the path that I need to take, right? So when I went to uni, at that moment I was going to uni, not just to like study and get a job. I went to uni to get a specific like variation of skills that I can then marry and join later on and kind of build a business out of. So I was actually called to uni to do actuarial science. And I did 1 week of that.
That was only A students, guys. Only A students. If you get an A minus, then there's a guy who didn't get an A. Yeah, so brilliant students only.
So I got in, and it's actuarial science. I do like a week or two of actuarial science,
Like, what is this?
and I'm saying like, okay, this is purely mathematics, and 100% I knew I was going to excel in it, right? Because it's just mathematics. At the end of the day, it's not that hard. So I will pick that up, but then I was like, okay, what kind of skills am I learning from this? And I decided I'm going to actually change my course. So week 2, changed my course to now mechatronic engineering. So I changed my classes, changed my admission number, all that, and I went and did
In 1 week,
mechatronic
you
engineering.
realize these numbers won't carry for me. Yeah.
Because it was specific to one path, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to learn about any tech. I'm not going to learn
But you
about
know,
any.
actuarial sciences is so glamorized. Like, I used to hear people doing actuarial sciences, they're like, okay, what is this? It's new, but it's for smart people. There's some money somewhere to be made.
So, yeah, I mean, it is glamorized. And interestingly, even then I was thinking of like, because I'm a science fiction nerd. So
Okay.
I've been exposed to a lot of like movies in terms of AI, robots. So even back then I was thinking of, at some point, this thing can be replaced and phased out, right?
Okay.
I need to create something that, or at least work in something that will not be phased out. So
Yeah.
I thought in terms of like engineering, I would actually get to do something that will, either I will be the one building the things that phase out other
Okay.
aspects of jobs,
Okay.
or at least it will take
More
some time before.
lasting, So you mentioned something. Were you on scholarship? Because you mentioned that you were being supported by an organization.
In high school, I was on scholarship. And this was an organization that was sponsoring kids from less fortunate families or needy families, and they will sponsor you through high school. So they sponsored me to go to Moy High School, Kabarak. So for 4 years, that was all paid as scholarship. Yeah. The organization is actually called Education.
Education.
Yeah, like
Okay.
education.
Okay. Education. Okay. Okay.
They've sponsored a couple of really great minds, I would say. My friend who I talked about is actually started a company called Iwaka, and they're doing e-bikes in Nairobi and in Rwanda and Uganda. So it's like really good.
So that's. I think that's pretty bold. Um. So is it safe to say you come from a difficult background?
It is, well, it's not an exactly clear definition of like a difficult background. I wouldn't say like we were suffering in the sense of like you're lacking food or something like that, but I would say it was hard to pay for school fees in a school as good as Kabarak, right? Because at that moment, I think the fees in Kabarak were probably like 120.
This is for like a year.
I think either it was a year or per term. I'm not. I forget, but yeah, it was really expensive for a family that was used to like paying maybe 18,000 per term for primary school, right? Yeah, it's a big jump. It's a big leap, and you're not the only child, right? So also your other siblings are in uni, so that entire burden is heavy on a parent. Right. So luckily is if you had gotten a good mark in primary, then that's easy for you to get a scholarship back then. So that was a good transition from that.
So you're in campus. You're in high school. You have some support. Brilliant students, all A's, get into actuarials. You decide, it's not for me. You decide something else, and then one day you're in the bank. You're going to open an account. You get in Dragons Den, and then this guy who said, "I'm going to be entrepreneur." Now you are the entrepreneur. Wow, wow. So from that day, you started your journey. Is it safe to say you started your journey of entrepreneurship from that day? What was your your pitch for Dragon's Den? I mean, Lion's Den.
So my pitch was very specific.
Like, let's do like 5 seconds. Huh?
This is putting me on the spot, but here was like, if I can remember it well, my pitch was like, my name is Safari Peter. I'm building a platform to connect visual artists to a larger market, right? And I had like images of the entire. So I'm looking for 1.4 million investment for 40%. Actually, it was 23% in exchange for 23% of my business. I had like done a calculation of how much that will actually be worth in terms of like the percentage and equity, and it was naive of me, but it still was a good calculation.
Big dreams. You're like, this is probably what Mark Zuckerberg is doing as well. So, okay.
So I went in. I was like, I'm looking for 1.4 million in exchange for 23%. Okay, and you're looking at everyone. So they ask questions, you answer them. At the background, I have like photos of the paintings that I have, the platform, and how it looks like, everything, right? And so it was 5 people, and you go through, five
lions.
exactly 5 lions, right? So you go, one says like, I'm in or I'm out, right? So they say I'm out, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out.
So you got 4 outs, and then one. I mean, like entrepreneurs, you have to like take rejection for breakfast, lunch, supper, and keep moving.
So at that moment, I'm like, oh no, this dream has just died over here. And then Olive comes in and she says like, okay, we'll do a deal, but I
She
want
said, "This
1.4.
guy, I'm not letting him go, man."
Yeah, they said 1.4 for 40%. And I was like, that's the deal on the table.
Okay.
I will take it. I will take it.
And I think that's it's glamour.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on a couple of shows.
Yes.
On the podium, you're like, "This is my product. This is what I'm pitching." Da, 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 da. And everybody's like, "Yeah, this is awesome." But then at the back of the of your kitchen, the work that went into preparing this thing, and the team, and even the courage and the confidence and the pitching in front of the mirror. Nobody sees that. They just see, hey, Safari got 1.4 million for whatever.
Exactly.
Tell me, what is so what are, let me say 3 things. What are the 3 things that you have seen an entrepreneur has to inevitably face, without which they cannot succeed?
Inevitably, as an entrepreneur, you have to face your customers and you have to sell. If that is not part of the company, there is no company. With the knowledge that I have currently, I would say even before you source out for any funding, just face your customers first. Go talk to your customer. You're selling something to them, sell it to them. Let them be the first validation of like, this is actually working. This is solving our issue. Then, and you only raise money if you want to scale. That will be my thought process on it, right? So you've validated that you're solving an actual problem for your customer and they're picking up on your product, and now you're asking for money to actually create a better solution or scale that solution for those customers and grow it. So inevitable for every entrepreneur has to sell at some point. So
Face your customers, which is facing your problem. Like, what are you trying to do?
What are you trying to do, right? So you can't avoid that, unfortunately. So if at some point I thought like I could be the hidden tech bro who could just code out a product and have someone else sell it. But I've since given up on that dream. I don't know, maybe to work for someone else, but I don't think it's something that will work for me. Yes. So I would rather than like build something, take it to my customers, see what they think, come back, reevaluate, take it to my customers, and and only when like I feel like okay, they are now picking up on this product, then try to raise some funds and actually give it.
I mean, that's really fundamental. You have to be with your customers. You have to know the problem that you're solving, and really be in the thick of things. Right? It's nice to build software, but I say software is not product. Product becomes product when the customer has it on his hand, using it, things like that. Cool. What else do you think you have to do or face to be a successful entrepreneur?
What else?
Or we could even twist it. What challenges have you faced in building a business that you know are important to master?
So I think you also, as an entrepreneur, you need to be honest with yourself. Especially when you have put out a product out there and you see that it's not picking up the traction that you expected. One, either you need to ask yourself why, or ask your customers why. And if they are basically saying to you, we don't really care about this product, you need to accept that. If you take too long to accept the fact that your product is not working, that can be really bad. So I'll give you an example. When I was building the art business, I think I took too long to see like some things are not working out. Okay, so I had this entire online platform. I had built it so well. It had an online auction. It had an exhibition that people could do. The artist could upload his art, and it was like really beautiful. It could render the painting in how it actually looked in real life, right? But at the end of the day, my customer who is buying the art didn't actually want to buy art online. They wanted to see the art first. And most of the sales that we made in terms of art were on physical ground, not in terms of like, yeah, I saw this art online and I bought it. So that didn't click for me as fast as it should have. So I thought the whole art selling platform was what would actually scale. But in real sense, what was scalable was meeting and networking and doing exhibitions on the ground and actually seeing who are your buyers, who are your customers, and talking to them and selling to them. That worked way better than the online platform. So it took me a long time to accept it, and that was something that kind of slowed the growth of the company.
Okay.
Right.
I think, are you a fan of music?
Yes, specific music.
Specific music. All right. So one of the shows that I love, or I generally love, is this talent shows. Project Fame, Pop Idols, The Voice, America's Got Talent. And sometimes I wonder, what sort of, what sort of substances are people taking, to have the courage and confidence, to go up there and try, And it used to happen in I think they stopped because I thought maybe it's a waste of time, but they stopped. But these days, those days, they used to have a whole like reel of terrible, misguided, like delusional singers. A guy comes and says, "I'm going to be Michael Jackson." Huh? And he's like, "What? Really? Are you?" Okay, fine. Then the moment he opens his mouth, he's like,
Why
"What are
to
you
do it?
smoking, by the way?" Or more than that, who are your friends?
Why didn't they tell you that you can't do this early enough?
There's one episode of America's Got Talent I saw where this mother brought the son and she was convinced. This guy, Then he goes there and he makes an embarrassment of himself. And the mom is still like, "That's my son, but you guys, get out of here. You don't know what you're doing. You're missing." I'm like, and entrepreneurship, that's a big thing. When the veil is pulled off and you see things for what they are, then you can actually it can kill your dream, or it can kill you. Yeah, because sometimes I guess things don't work out for different reasons, right? It could be your idea. I think you could have held on just a bit and you'd have hit the NFT market probably. Timing, it could be that team, all sorts of things. But I think it's important to see and then move fast. Let the ego die. Fine, go have a memorial service for your idea, your product. Say goodbye, and then now move to the next. That's what I've really learned about being an entrepreneur. So now that's one thing that you have pointed out. Is there any other thing that is fundamental that you can pick out?
So interestingly, you mentioned that because I think I picked that lesson the moment I joined Antler. And when I joined Antler,
so for anybody who's watching, Antler. I think you can see it on the view. It's an accelerator program that really takes the top talent in the world, not just Kenya to Uganda. No, people flying from Europe, Germany to come and build businesses, right? And this is one of the top talent globally. So
Yeah, thank you. Well, yeah, when I joined Antler, I think that lesson became really key. How quickly can you actually disprove your hypothesis about your ideas,
how
right?
quickly can you kill your idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because and it's painful. It's really painful, and I think that is one of the hardest thing about the program. It's like you come up with this idea, you're very passionate about it, you have this idea in mind, and you love it, and it's like, yes, this is what I want to do. And then a series of questions later, even just by yourself or with someone that is guiding you, or even with your customers, you realize like, yeah, this idea is not even going to work. It's not going to scale. No one cares about this. And you have to kind of roll back and be like, okay, this idea is dead. What else can we do?
Yeah.
And the program was so tough because of that situation, right? So you keep on killing ideas, you keep on killing ideas. And yeah, rapidly. And that is something that I needed, right? Because remember I told you about the art business that took me a long time. So I come to Antler and they're teaching me how to rapidly kill ideas, which is a skill that I needed to now like be able to, So nowadays I'm not really married to the idea. What I'm married to is like, I will build this thing out as quickly as possible, get it out there, test it out in like the minimal way that I can. Test it out with customers, roll it back as fast as possible. Speed is key.
So that's fundamental. I think it took me a long time to understand that as well. Being a techie, being people who build and who glorify intelligence. I can code, I can hack you, I can, all those things, right? Beware, man. Like techies are the hardest people to tell anything, right? And so you're married to ideas. You tell this guy, why this thing is not gonna work. You're like,
I think as techies, we have the sunken cost fallacy. 100%, because you've spent a number of days building out, coding this thing out. You're looking at the UI, it's looking good. You're saying, okay,
you
this
become
is good.
like,
You're so
"Oh,
attached
this is
now,
my thing,
right?
man."
Exactly. So it's very hard for us to be like, this thing is not going to work. Because now you have to kill the whole thing and start from scratch.
You have to be a certain type of person who is self-critical but also self-affirming, right? You know when somebody is making sense, somebody is not really targeting your ego, or it is making sense that okay, fine,
This is not going to work out.
this onboarding cycle is trash, but people are gonna catch up and then toss it aside because of X, Y, and Z, right? But I think one thing we have to hold on to, I guess, is the dream, and people confuse
Holding the dream and holding the
product,
yes.
right?
So holding the dream is much more important than holding the product, because you can have this grand vision of what you want to do, and if it's like high above exactly what the market is, it will always be unchanging, right? So let's say like what Mark Zuckerberg wanted or said, he wants to connect people, right? So that could have been done in so many ways, right? But he landed on the perfect way. Started with Facebook. Then at some point, Facebook was kind of being phased out, went to Instagram, right? Then he went to WhatsApp. But all of these products have one thing in common. They're still connecting people. So the grander vision or the grand dream is still, But you have to remember the product can actually change, even with time, right? So your vision can still stay the same, but whatever the product and how you're achieving that vision can always change.
That's great.
Yeah.
I want to talk about is there anything that is less glamorous about entrepreneurship and founding a tech company that is fundamental to the process? It's not glamorous, and it could even be difficult or even painful. Yeah.
Yes, hearing no from customers.
Rejection.
Rejection. That's one of the things that you don't see, and like you have to understand, even like the best companies, there's someone that said no to that product, and it's not personal. It's nothing personal. It's just like your product is either not solving their problem, or they haven't seen your product at work yet. Or to them they're thinking, okay, it's too expensive or something like that. So at that moment, you just take rejection, or almost on a daily, because you call someone and you're saying, I'm selling this thing to you. I think you're the right buyer for it. You're the right customer because of this and this and this, and they'll tell you, okay, no, I'm not going to buy that. Or they have a competing product and you have to accept it. So the question is, like in terms of the glamour of entrepreneurship, and when you see like a startup has raised money, all that, there's so much that goes on underneath the hood that you don't see, right?
I think for me, yes, when I when I was asking about challenges, that's the first thing I came to my mind: rejection. As an entrepreneur, you have to eat rejection. Like you have to be very comfortable with rejection. No, no, my friends, no.
Every time, and if you take it too personal, it will kill you.
Just go to the mirror and say, no.
Because you might actually find you see like someone this is the right customer. In fact, if I close this deal, it will be life changing. My business will be like on this next level, right? And then you approach them. It's taking time. But and then the end they say no, and you still have to accept it and say like, okay.
Those are the ones you need to actually figure out which yeses and no, because you can also tell, right? Like, in the fundraising cycle, right? When you're fundraising again, it's rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, right? So I've done some fundraising, and I was successful to some degree, but the rejection is, hey, you put your house there, you're like, okay, today. And it's Zoom calls and stuff. So, hey, my name is Karaoke.
This is my pitch. Here's my deck. Everything.
And because of these first interactions, usually it's like, you drink something great, but it's not really a fit because you're on the wrong stage. And
I had those kinds of rejections, like the ones that go to a long story. Like, just give me the reason. Like, say the reason exactly why. Like.
The lady, okay, fine, but it's rejection, and I think, luckily, this is fun fact. I did network marketing or multi-level marketing, and that's where I got the taste of
rejection.
Oh my goodness! What are we selling? We are selling. At some point, you're selling gold.
Gold.
Yes, I was selling gold. Right, gold and called numismatics with a company called Questnet. Oh my goodness, the rejection. I think I'm 19, 20, 21, 22. And I'm going to a guy and saying, okay, this is, it's a gold coin, numismatics, it has value. And if you take it as an investment, like
immediately they see scam.
Yeah, scam, brother. It's like, get out of here, man. But I think if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to learn how to deal with rejection fast and easy, join any network marketing company, Oriflame, GNLD, Questnet, there. Just join them and learn how to sell. Learn how to sell and get those rejections, because I think it's so key.
I think
know how to take rejection.
Yeah, if you're selling, you'll face rejection. So any entrepreneur or any aspiring entrepreneur, first things, just sell whatever you can. I've even sold, like I made juice at some point, lemonade juice, and I was selling it at the hospital my mom works at, and I will go sell juice, and that was lesson enough, because it's hot and sunny at the coast. You expect like everyone will be a customer, and you'll find someone who's not buying at that moment. So you don't really know what exactly is the problem, but they're not buying your product. Rejection.
And the funny thing is, sometimes the guys who buy, you're like, hey, you had no idea, you didn't even think. Like the guys who gave me money as an investor, like,
you didn't even expect.
Yeah, but the guy who's saying, we have a $50 million fund, and we are targeting startups in Nairobi, Africa, Kenya, and oh my goodness,
the one that you think is actually a perfect fit.
Hey, my goodness, yeah. But surprises, there could be surprises here and there. So now you are, I think it's great lessons, man, like rejection and all the things that you've said. Now you're equipping So I'm going to ask you like a reflective question, right? What does a world that remembers you look like? And I'm talking about the world.
Yeah, not just Kenya.
Yeah.
I think if I want to be remembered for something, I would say two things. And maybe that is too much, but two things. I want to be remembered as someone who helped people connect in ways that they couldn't connect, right? That is one. And two, I want to be remembered for building some of the amazing tech in the world. And that is like a selfish childhood dream of mine, to like be able to build things that are transformative, futuristic, that are driving the whole world forward. So those are the things that I will want to be remembered for.
Okay.
So you want to connect people and you want to transform with technology, basically. And I guess I know you a bit and you're working on something, but why don't you kind of like tell us what you're working on and how we're gonna achieve those goals of technology that helps us connect.
So right now we're working on Looped, and it's supposed
That's looped. That's LOOPED.
right accessible at getlooped.app.
Getlooped.app.
So it started out as a way for strangers to connect, but we've since pivoted from that, and this is a learning or a lesson from it. So if you're trying to help strangers connect, and you're trying to help them connect around probably activities that they both share interests in, it's very hard, because for strangers, they want to get a bit of information about the other stranger, like enough of a connector for them to be able to meet each other.
Yeah.
So we've pivoted from that in a way where we're trying to actually bring already pre-existing communities. So the likes of WhatsApp groups, or even your colleagues at a certain company, you want to actually engage in different ways other than just meeting at work, right? So let's say you're working for KPMG, right? You're constantly meeting all these other people or colleagues at work, but yeah, at the end of the weekend, you probably won't meet any of them, and that's cool. But at some point, you also want to engage with some people in the company in different ways, right? So maybe go for a fun paddle event, or maybe go for go-karting or whatever, or even meet at a restaurant. So we want to kind of make that whole process easy and seamless for groups, right? So if you've had a WhatsApp group before, or been in a WhatsApp group that is friendly, there's so many times where you've said like, let's plan a thing where we can do something like maybe travel, and the drop-off is very high. The chances of these plans actually getting out of the WhatsApp groups is very low, right? And that friction that exists is because, one, there has to be someone who is a planner, right? Who will be able to contact, like, is it a hotel that you guys are going to stay out? What is the itinerary? What are all these details need to be worked out.
Yeah.
And then he has to come back to you guys and say like, hey, here's the cost of this. When you don't even trust these guys. You might actually think that your friend is trying to benefit from this whole process, and once you pay, then they're getting a cut that is probably needed. So in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm probably not going to pay for this, and they have worked this whole process out. So instead of that, like, here's a platform, your community will always find different activities to always engage around. So if you want sporting events, if you want travel events, so we are bringing on board all these vendors into a single platform, and all you have to do is just connect your WhatsApp group, connect your Slack channel or whatever, and you'll find all these activities that you can easily sign up for, schedule, like, here's the day we are going to do it, this is the price already set for you. All you have to do is just pay, we'll book it for you, and you show up. That's it.
Interesting. So how is it different from like Ticket Sasa or M-Ticket or Eventbrite?
So it's different because we're not even doing ticketing as such, okay? And this is a community activity, so it's not even an event, right? So it's specifically for your small community, your couple of friends, or the company that wants to organize events for its employees. So let's say for your company, you want to have your employees maybe do hiking, go to Mount Longonot, right? So either you have to plan all this out for yourself and or someone who's actually in your employee, who's even JD might not be that, has to look for all these details and plan it out, and then come back to the company and say, this is the cost, these are the things that we're going to, and you discuss all that. So instead of all that process, why not just be on the platform and get all these activities and be like, yes, this is what we're going to do this weekend. As employees of our company, this is what we have prearranged. We have already paid for it, the platform. You just show up, and that's it.
It sounds too good to be true.
Sounds too good to be true, but it's actually as simple as that.
Because we just did a launch in Kilifi, and it was back and forth, hotels and traveling. How are we traveling? How are we going there? So you're telling me that all I have to do is say, I want to go to launch, or I want to do this. This is the activity, and then I go on the Looped app, and then somehow magically you will curate for me everything that I need, and all I have to do is
Yeah, all you have to do is pay. So you choose the activity that you want to do, when, where, and we'll show you all the.
and it gives me a variety. Like in Kilifi, there's a couple of Airbnbs I can stay at. There are hotels. There are relatives, but I'm sure my relatives are not in that app. And then so accommodation. Then there's activities. Like if I'm thinking about having fun, maybe there's kayaking, catamaran at the creek, all that stuff. So you're saying that I come in, I have an array. So, but now,
I mean, we could even organize the transportation for you. So I have a friend of mine who's doing car rentals, and they're bringing in like all the car rental companies under one platform. It's called Auto Rentals, and
Auto, yeah, I know Auto.
so we could even bring them on board, and they could be on the platform. So you want to travel to Kilifi? Here's Auto Rentals for you. And we've already made like a partnership with Auto Rentals, so it becomes easy, right? So you as someone who's planning activities for your company, all you have to do is just choose like, this is what we need, this is what we need. Here's the itinerary, and seamless. Yeah.
I think the value proposition is, I think it's strong. Obviously, you're gonna try and kill it.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
If it survives, then it's a winner. Who is your customer? Who would you love to connect with, to help you even validate it more, or drive your business forward?
So right now, the people that we actually want to test this out with is the accelerator communities in Nairobi. So the startup community itself, right? So, and since we are at Antler, this will actually be a really good place, because there's a lot of companies that are coming in here, a lot of people, and the ecosystem is a bit fragmented. So you will find like, yeah, we know we are in this company together, we're in this startup together, we're doing this together. And if you don't make an effort to actually network, it's really hard, right? So why not be able to actually like create activities for the same community? So it's easy to join the community, and then
But there's trust already, some semblance of connectedness.
you know already like who's coming. Okay, yeah, I've seen this person at Antler before, I've seen this person in Delta 40 before, right? And then you come in, and then there is these all activities where you can actually go have fun and interact with these people.
We need fun in this community. There's too much suffering.
Exactly. Like you need an outlet at some point. You need an outlet.
Yeah, you need an outlet. You know what would be nice is if you organize a tournament. Just organize a tournament. I don't know, is it football and not fantasy league? We actually want to go to a field somewhere, run around, kick a ball or bounce a ball. Organize a league, Antler versus Delta versus Workspace versus Garage. You see who wins, yeah. So that's a good use case, right? So we go on the loops, and then we get our league, Then you say, I want to go for this league. I know I'll meet strangers, but people who I trust and I know, and we'll connect, we'll have fun, and it'll cost me how much?
So depending on like the vendor, yeah, probably 5K.
I would pay 5K. Wait, would I pay 5K? Is there food?
If we're organizing a tournament, yeah, we will definitely have to think of catering, yes.
Me, I'd pay 5K if there's food and football and a whole day. Okay, maybe that's a bit low, but anyway, make it happen, man. Make it happen. That's amazing. So that's Looped, guys. This is, I think, connectedness. And I don't know, when we were kids, like the other day, my kids were just walking around, and then some random other kid just comes, and it's like 5 seconds later, they are like,
Friends. Yeah.
you know, I'm like, shucks. Yeah.
That's the aspect that I feel like as adults we lose, right?
What happens, like somewhere in between, something happens. I think we grow an ego. Yeah.
It might be the ego, but it's also like you've been exposed to too much as in terms of life. You've seen like the other dark side of things that you're like you can't.
So it becomes,
Yes, so you can't easily connect with a stranger because you have all these questions in your mind, like who are they? What do they want?
But the funny thing is, everybody's the same. So two guys are thinking, who are you? Who are you? What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do to me? You know, they're all in the same space of apprehension, resistance, and yes, I mean, if you can break that and say, okay, there's nothing to fear here. Let's talk together and let's see what will happen. I think being connected and social media has, in a sense, made things worse because we judge people from what we are seeing. Like, hey, that guy was in Dubai, but hey, see, my friend, you know, like, eh?
100%. I feel like social media has made it hard for people to connect in real life.
Yeah.
Because you have all these followers, you're engaging with these people, but the engagement is virtual, it's digital, it's just like a like, it's a comment, and that's about it, right?
And it's
Exactly. So if you ask anyone, like, do you know your followers? 100% is like they will tell you, I know the people that I've been friends with before. Either they met in high school, either they met in uni, either they met at work, then they know them, right?
Yeah.
But a bunch of other people, like if someone has, I don't know, 1,000, 5,000 followers, there's a number of people that they don't know, right? And even meeting them in real life is still as scary because you have no idea, like, why are they following you in the first place? What is their intention? All this, right? So,
And the thing about numbers, there's a number called the Dunbar number. You heard of the Dunbar number?
Yeah.
So the Dunbar number, basically, it's a science. I think it's called Dunbar. It kind of like maps out relationships, and it says that there are people who maximum number of people that you can connect with. It's like 5, really. And then there's an outer circle where you're close but not there, and it's about maybe 10 to 20. And there's another circle of 50 and then 150 that reduces that connection. And so if you think about it, if I have 1,000 followers, do you know that's like, imagine me, I'm on the podium and there are 1,000 people seated. That's like a movie theater. Even, that's crazy. Like, there's no way I can have at least with all those people, right? And I think digital just does that. It makes you feel like you are the guy, but then it alienates, right? And sometimes it's good because, I mean, you're a star, make the money, do the thing. However, you do need relationships, right? And you do need that variety of, adventure around relationships, And I'm not talking about Tinder or
not that kind of variety.
This
Bumble.
came just like that. No, but imagine, that sense of, okay, this is a community I trust. I'd like to see how Stacy kicks the ball, and whether she runs like this when she's when she's maybe she's a goalie, man. Who knows? I don't know.
You need a variety of engagement opportunities with the people that you already know, right? And even if you have friends, like let's say you have 10 friends that you're really, really close to, still you're looking for opportunities to be with them and engage with them in a different kind of way than just like, let's meet out and go for drinks, right? So we want to be that platform for people that eases that engagement process, right? So you're thinking of like, I want to do this, and it's as easy as, yeah, I can click a button and I am able to actually have a real life experience. So we don't want to be a platform for like engagement online. That is not our core goal. If you want to engage online, there's so many platforms that you can engage with, right? We want to be the platform for engagement in real life, right?
That's amazing.
And I think, did I read a report, or it was just flying around, how these days Gen Zs, they don't, they are drinking less, they are partying less, they are exercising, they are doing reading clubs.
Experience.
Like, where are you guys from, Bana? It's like, what's up? Hey, Stacy, Bana.
So Gen Z today care more about the experience.
Yeah, the experience.
Yes. So hence why they're drinking less. In fact, if in terms of like buying product, if you don't offer like the experience, it's going to sell less to Gen Zs. So you as a company or as a business, you have to focus also on like what, if especially if you're targeting like B2C, you have to focus on what experience are you giving them.
Yeah. Gone are the days that you have a Mugithi night at K1. We go have drinks and have fun. Enough. Now you have to do ngemi, you have to have artists, you have a pop-up market, and they're selling craft beer. My goodness, this is quite something. But anyway, we're learning. It's been a pleasure. I think, is there anything you'd like to have as a parting shot? I think I've learned quite a bit from you. Your passion for people, your passion for connecting, that he's a genius, most sought after developer, entrepreneur in the world, globally. Acha tu niweke flash kidogo. Yeah, so how do you like us to wrap up this conversation?
So if there was a parting shot I will give, and this is specifically to the audience of like, yeah, if someone is aspiring to be an entrepreneur or they're already an entrepreneur, like you have to take the opportunity that is at the table. Like don't let it go. If there is an opportunity, even if you feel unqualified for it, still take a chance. Because I think all the great moments I've had in my life have been specifically the opportunities that I felt I am unqualified to go for. And the moment I went for them, turns out I was actually qualified for them. So instead of disproving yourself, just take the opportunity, see what life gives you. Yeah.
There you have it. Eat rejection, but also risk for breakfast, right? You never know what you don't know. And so with that, I'd like to thank you, PS Safari, for being with us. It's been an amazing pleasure. And looking forward to seeing what you're doing, man. Like, we are here to support. So he'll be sponsoring the next video, after he makes the money. Yeah, and all the best, man. Thank you so much. So we usually close with a chant. Let me say it's a chant. So you say "Forge to the world," and then we do like this.
Like the salute, because this has so many connotations.
No Soviet connections, please. So
The world.
Forge to the world.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say forge, and then you say forge to the world. Alright? Cool.
Forge to the world. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That has been our episode of Forgecast. It's been a pleasure hosting with our guest. We're looking forward to more. If you have any inkling of a topic that you'd like to talk to, any entrepreneur you'd like us to reach out to, anybody you want to have a seat, talk to me. I think I asked hard questions, but what would you say?
It's fair questions. It's fair questions driving that conversation.
Let us know and we'll be happy to do that. So until next time, all the best, Godspeed, and we'll see you.